Okay, I guess I'm live now. Okay, let me just make sure from the other camera. It's all about appearance. Hey guys, I'm glad to see you. Navy Freak AJ, hi Pat Dancer. Really glad you're here. I hope you're still here. Definitely. Anyway, I'm 1 minute early. It's not yet 2 o'clock. So basically, we make small talk for the first couple of minutes, and then we just keep going. So I don't know. I don't know. So if you're here, tell me that you're here, and all the normal YouTube small talk. What's on your hook? What's in your cup? What did you have for lunch? It's not yet lunchtime on the West Coast, is it? I think AJ is on the West Coast, right? Hi, Roseanne. Glad to see you. It's 2 o'clock here on the East Coast. Hi, Pat. Oh, Pat, I wouldn't want to get rid of you. Never. Hi, Gina. Glad to see you. And so what are we doing here? We're making small talk as we still gather. And it's funny. Hey, AJ. Hey, Blind Stitches. You're drinking water, working on the... Oh, Crystal's cardigan? Which cardigan? Is it... She did a new one recently that was like a longer duster length cardigan. I've been wanting to watch that video. Is that the one you're talking about? I bought her men's cardigan pattern a year, 2 years ago, and I made it, and as with most things that I make for myself, it was too large. I gotta work on that. But anyway. Oh, guys, look. This is my hat that I've been doing in blue, but I have this leftover. It was from a leftover Lion Brand mandala cake. Doesn't it look great in these colors too? I love this. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Oh, hi, Deborah. Hi, glad to see you. So we're just making small talk as we gather. Hi, Nightbot. Ah. Oh, let me just state. It looks like Nightbot is working. We love Nightbot when Nightbot works. When we can't figure out Nightbot, we're not crazy about it. If y'all know what I mean. Oh, Blind Stitches. You had a crochet block and you finally decided to do it. Were you with us last week when we were talking about regaining our crojo, regaining our motivation? And there were a lot of really good ideas. I'm going to yawn. Oh. There were a lot of really good ideas in the room because almost everyone suggests. Almost every suggestion I have ever seen about regaining your crojo can be summed up this way. Take an action. And that's exactly what you've done. You decided to do this this cardigan as a challenge. And I'll bet you that once you have accomplished a little bit with it, you want to do more and more and more. Hi, Whisper! But it really is. You just take an action. And that action could be about rest. That action could be about finding a diversion. That action could be about taking care of yourself. Or that action could be about finding a new activity or something new to create. You know, I have never regretted taking an action. I have often regretted just sitting and stewing in my own juices and thinking about, oh, poor me, I have no motivation. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has felt that before. Hi, Patsy. Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad to see. My goodness, we have 8 people here already after just 5 minutes. So anyway, yeah, it's funny. I'm breathing on again. Oh, I don't sleep well, and sometimes I just don't get enough rest. So it's I yawn sometimes. And I love the people in the chat are making lovely comments. So anyway, I was watching a video a little bit earlier, and you know how you get these advertisements before, and sometimes they're longer than the video itself when they're like going into great length about advertising whatever it is they want to sell you. Oh, blind stitches, you're sometimes hard on yourself. We all are. And you start something and then you pull it out. I've done that many times. But I'm not one to give advice. I don't have any wisdom. Believe me, I don't have any wisdom. But I can identify. Definitely. So anyway, I was just talking about sometimes I think I should call these things like something about things that I observe about life, because it's sometimes it's funny. So I was watching this one video advertisement that went on and on and on and on and on. Partly because it was halfway interesting, and partly because I just wanted to see how bad it would get. And it got really bad. It was funny. It's where they sort of mock bad advertisements by, like, in the audio they will like insert the product name in a totally different voice and a totally different intonation and a totally different word rhythm and speech rhythm and stuff. They were doing that almost from the beginning. It was so funny. Anyway, Pat says, oh, hi, Jane. You make a simple granny square. It can really help. I'm going to yawn again. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was up in the middle of the night because I couldn't sleep, so I was crocheting and watching videos. And then I slept really late this morning and all this stuff. Oh, hi, Katrina. Hi, Tammy. You're at work? Be careful about that, That I've heard it called time debting, where you really owe your time to your employer, but you're paying attention to something else. I'm not about giving advice, but sometimes it makes it, I don't have an employer now, but it has made me feel bad in the past when I have done that. Whisper says, when my Crojo is not wanting to work with me, I go on Pinterest. Exactly, Whisper. I look at patterns, I look at yarns, and almost always there's something that inspires me there. Gina, you do practice swatches. It looks like you're saying you haven't really produced anything final as a final output. Well, that's okay too, the action of crocheting is so comforting. That's my feeling. It's rhythmic, and you have these really nice feeling materials in your hands. This is Lion Brand Comfy Cotton Brand, I think is the name of it. But you know what it means. You have these lovely things in your hands. You feel like you're making something, and the action itself. I have some of the best wisdom I have ever heard is take the right actions, and the results will follow. You know. No, crochet miles. I that's the first time I've heard that term, but I really like it. Jane says, I feel like I am avoiding joy because I don't want life to. Oh, that makes me sad. Because you don't want life to take it from you. That makes me sad. But that is our topic today. What are we avoiding? You know, what are we putting off? Um, uh, Gina was talking about putting off actually doing a complete object. There might be a particular technique or a particular stitch or a particular pattern that you're putting off. Maybe you don't feel ready. Maybe, sometimes you have to acquire the resources to make a product that you want. Yarn is not always cheap. Um, it's all about that stuff. So I mean, and again, I don't have advice. I just want to identify. And Whisper says she is physically avoiding finishing the next fairy house. Whisper does amazing work. You should see it. And her hands don't like her at the moment. Deborah says, I agree with you, Deborah. And I have the same struggle. Yeah. Pat Dancer says she is putting off learning to make the crocodile stitch. Do you know what? Both Fiber Spider and Bag a Day have crocodile stitch tutorials that make it easy. They really do. It looks really, really complex, but you know, uh, um, they make it look easy. Oh, Jane, I wish I could hug you right now. I think we all know the big D. The big D. This is my Christmas mug. It's funny. Coffee and Christmas music is what it says. I bought this after Christmas at a steep discount. Why did I just before Christmas? At I don't even remember which. It was a craft store, but I don't remember which one. But anyway, here's a life lesson I learned today. If you're pouring V8 into a mug that has a red inside and the lights are not really on in the kitchen, you want to be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? I do love V8 though. I add a little, celery salt, sometimes some uh, lemon juice, that sort of thing. Makes it even better. Deborah says she's putting off working with crochet thread. I've never worked with it. I think it looks really difficult, actually. Ah! Jane says, maybe I didn't lose my Crojo. I have a Voyjo. I like that. That's good. Yeah. Anyway. Nightbot is working overtime, isn't he? I'm happy that I finally got Nightbot to work and everything. Actually, this would be a good time to just do some, general announcements. Talk about my schedule. This is Topic Tuesdays. I do every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. And then at 3 o'clock, we go over to see Brenda, the newbie crocheter. And right now, I'm assuming I can get this darn Bluetooth keyboard to work. Okay, there we go. I will give you Brenda's link. But at 3 o'clock, we go over to Brenda, the newbie crocheter. And if you would say it's like a bearded yarn raid or something like that, that would be fun. Wednesdays, I do Wednesday free-for-alls at 6 o'clock. Thursdays, I have always done recorded WIP Thursdays, because I can never get around to doing a WIP Wednesday. This week, I'm going to experiment with going live, and I've been playing around with the exact time. As it stands right now, it's going to be 4:30 Eastern time, because I didn't want to conflict with too many people. 4:30 Eastern time for an hour. Friday, I do short videos. Saturday, I do shout-out Saturdays. Those are recorded. Sunday, I do Sunday readings of poetry. Those are recorded. No, I was mistaken. Fridays are tutorials. Mondays are short videos. And then we're back at Tuesday. And that's my schedule. Oh, okay. Let's see. Hi, Tammy. I try not to avoid the unknown. I jump in feet first. I think that's a great attitude. Yeah, no? Sometimes you get good results. Sometimes you get bad results. And that happens whether you avoid things or whether you jump in. 'Cause that's just gonna happen. That's my observation. Welcome to my world, David. That's because... And I'm pouring pouring out of juice, yes. I missed something, didn't I? I probably missed a bunch. Oh yeah, Whisper's talking about the kind of fairy tale things that she does. She really does amazing work. Look her up. Let's say Jane Blinds. Jane, I am so glad that you and Blind Stitches have met. I didn't realize you did not know each other before, but I think that would be a great thing for you, Jane. Well, for both of you, actually. And I love to hook people up in the innocent sense of the term. Well, okay, maybe not always innocent, but usually innocent. Anyway, what else do we have going on? So we've been talking about what are we avoiding. For me, it has been certain stitches, certain techniques, certain patterns. Um, I used to avoid Tunisian, and I have gone on record many times as saying that my Tunisian hooks are most useful for stirring drinks. But would you believe I came up with a pattern that combines traditional and Tunisian? And I think it's beautiful. And somebody did a test sample for me because I didn't really have the patience to do the whole thing myself. Fancy that. And it was beautiful. And so I'm going to keep working on that, and I will publish that pattern pretty soon. But, you know, Tunisian isn't all that bad. It's one of those things that some people love Tunisian from the start, and I I tried it, and it was okay. I didn't find it as rewarding as traditional crochet. But then when I came up with this pattern and the way I alternated the traditional with the Tunisian, I loved it. I can't say it was easy, but again, it's one of those things that takes practice. But I love the effect. So, am I missing comments? Hi, hi, Jean. Oh, well, I'm glad you like my idea. When my pattern is published, I hope you will take a look at it. I've been doing a lot of clergy stoles lately, but every last one of them could be adapted rather, to be a regular scarf. And I would love to see that happen. I really would. So, I mean, that's one thing that I was avoiding. I didn't do Tunisian, you know, because it didn't feel good. I have always lived by the philosophy, if it hurts, don't do it. Um, so Tunisian didn't feel as good as regular crochet. And I've gotten to the point where I can do some challenging things with regular crochet, traditional crochet. So I picked up the Tunisian again to do this pattern, and it worked out. And who knew? A lot of it is just patience. Another thing that I haven't done, I tried it once or twice, and that's amigurumi. The stuffed figures, the animals, or any other kind of figure that you want to make when you crochet the outside and then you stuff it with, the kind of stuffing that you can get at a craft store. Here's a tip. Someone suggested that instead of buying that expensive stuffing at a craft store, you buy a cheap pillow from Walmart or whatever discount store you go to. Take the stuffing out of that and use it. You will spend a lot less money. You may thank me at your leisure. Anyway, okay. Pat says, I have crocheted so long, I know that thin yarns, small hooks, and amigurumi are not in my vocabulary. Exactly. Exactly. I myself, I'm not really crazy about bulky yarns. I used to say I was a worsted boy, um, but even worsted, I find there's a wide range within the label for or worsted. But even some worsted is a little too thick for me, and I'm going more and more in the DK direction and might go even further. Who knows? Time will tell. Oh, Whisper agrees with me about pillows. Yes. Yeah. Jean says scratchy yarns. She doesn't use them because they're unpleasant. You know what? If it hurts, don't do it. I mean, words to live by. I should learn to do that graphically, with, a little caption above. Words to live by. I might do one of those alternative spellings that the young people do. WERDS, or Z, or something like that. Anyway. Hi, Fiber Floozy. Glad to see you. Hi. Roseanne says, worsted boy? That could be a new Marvel superhero. I've never been called a superhero before. Believe you me. Yeah. And people are comparing their favorite kinds of yarn. It's all a matter of taste. It really is. And what you find pleasant. And you know what? What you enjoy today might not be what you enjoy tomorrow. And that's okay too. So, what kind of patterns have you guys been avoiding? I mean, I think I've tried a lot of different things, actually. Hey, Granny D, so glad to see you. I've tried a lot of different kinds of patterns, actually. I've made many blankets. I've made sweaters. I've made shawls. Haven't made that many like household items, pot holders, that sort of thing. Dishcloths. I don't use dishcloths because when I'm washing dishes, I prefer to use, those scrubby sponges that have the plastic abrasive that's safe for like nonstick surfaces, rather than a real dishcloth. So I don't know. Fiber Floozy says she's avoiding cleaning up the mess on the floor of her she shed. I wish I had a she shed. Or what would you call the equivalent of a she shed for me? Hey, Judy, glad to see you. Hey, Amy, glad to see you too. Jean is happy that Granny D is here. We're all happy that Granny D is here. Granny D spreads love and sunshine wherever she goes. And there's just no two ways about it. That is the truth. How many people remember that? Edith Ann from Laugh-In. It was a Lily Tomlin character. And that's the truth. We're probably similar ages, most of us. I don't know. Fiber Floozy, he shed, she shed. I like that. Hi, Jamie Barber. Jean is learning to read patterns through J-Hook. Oh yes, J-Hook is wonderful. She shares wisdom so freely and has great information. Hi, Barbara. How is that little corner of Kentucky today? Yeah, Deborah says we're showing our age. Did you see this gray? Yeah, showing my age. Fiber Floozy, I grew up with Hee Haw. Hee Haw and Lawrence Welk together. Not at the same time, but one right after another. Lori is listening while finishing reports. I'm glad you're here, Lori. Ooh, Barbara has a lot of allergens in her little corner of Kentucky, and actually so do I in North Carolina. I'm surprised I haven't sneezed yet, but I'm inside, haven't been outside yet today. Hi, Tony Maffeo. Silver tinsel? Oh. Well, Judy, let's not pull out our driver's licenses and just say we all feel old, okay? Oh my God, Fiber Floozy, Glenn Campbell. He was a cutie, wasn't he? Pat Dancer says I should, if I ever had my equivalent of a she shed, I should call it a man cave. I sort of like that. Hi, Jane. Jane says I should make instant gratification videos with inspirational quotes. Do you know, I've thought of doing something like that. Someone recently, because I do the poetry readings on Sundays, someone recently suggested that I do or look into doing audiobooks. Do you know, when I was in college, I interviewed for a position at the college radio station. And this was a very large university with a very, very big reputation for opera. And I was told, let's see, what was the adjective he used? He said my voice was precious. What he meant was faggy. I have a quilted speaking voice. I know that. I'm okay with that. And it appears that you guys are too. But you know what? I might look into doing some of these kind of narration things. Let's see. Barbara has woods on 3 sides. Oh, that sounds lovely. Ah! Barb, Whisper, did you bring enough for everybody? Whisper just grabbed a snack. Do them as shorts, yes. Oh, hi, Kim, the crafty elephant lady. Snarky. Oh, I've got enough snark for all of us, believe you me. Learning how to read patterns. Ooh. Oh my goodness gracious, I don't know. That's a huge challenge. I don't know what to say about that. Lori says my voice is NPR-ish. Well, I'll tell you what, in 1984 at Indiana University, they didn't like my voice. Jane, I'm not Tony Robinson. I'm not going to say if you always do what you always did, you will always have what you always got. Excellent. Oh, people like the idea of the of the audiobooks or audio quotes. I could do audio. You know, the shorts. That would be fun too. Oh, hi, Marie. An Indian taco? And waiting for the wind to die down. Is that the wind inside you after eating an Indian taco or what? Yeah, Lori is talking about 1984, Indiana University, Bobby Knight. Exactly. Deborah says, I should end it with, and I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. Yeah, I should be, what was it, Stuart Smalling? Was that his name? And doggone it, people like me. You know, sometimes it's hard to accept even that. I love that, Fiber Floozy. I am not sure you understand that what you thought you heard is not exactly what I meant. I love that. That is so cute. I don't know why this came back to me a day or two ago. A quote from a movie trailer. I never saw the movie, but from, oh, I don't know, 20 something years ago. And I remember it was Debbie Reynolds and Albert Brooks. And Debbie Reynolds was his mother. And she says, I love you. And he says, and I believe you think you mean that. I thought that was funny. Indian taco, fried bread with chicken, green chili, lettuce, tomato, cheese. That does sound good. Oh, Whisper, I love that saying. I am responsible for what I said, not for what you think I said. Oh, I love that. I love that. I've never heard that, but it is so true. Do you know that I heard a story. A friend of mine saw, a young mother chastising a child in public, saying, "How many times do I have to tell you you are responsible for your own reality?" To like a 4-year-old. Mm. Jane, I think that's a great idea. Audio crochet patterns. I'm going to make a note of that. I have this little notebook. I also have this daily planner. I'm still not a bit organized. I love that whisper. Um, Somebody needs to slap that mom and tell her, how many times will it take for you to realize that she is 4 years old and not 18? I love that. Yeah, that's true. Mm. Lori, bean burritos. Ah, that's so cute. Lori, Lori Armstrong, whom I adore, um, is a lunch lady or a lunch lady manager, really, and so manages a kitchen, a school kitchen, I guess. And she is saying that today, when she served bean burritos, a first grader said, "No, thank you. I'm not interested in tooting all day." How cute is that? Oh my gosh. I would dine out on that quote all week. Okay, Jane, listen to Grady. Oh, Marie, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Kids can be funny. I mean, really, Whisper? Oh, I want to hear all about that. Whisper says her son was taught to cook a full meal last Monday. Um, Remind me, you have two sons, correct? Now, you've told me about this gorgeous, strapping son of yours who's like 20 something and big and tall and muscular. And pardon me while I take a moment. But you have at least one more son, correct? Oh, grilled chicken fillet, potatoes, and stringy the gravy. Two sons and one daughter. Okay, now I remember. Okay. Jane says, David, there are programs, but it's not the same as if one that knows crochet would read the pattern. If someone reads row 19, right side, chain 1, brackets, single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. Exactly. 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 Yeah, Jane. I really want to figure out how to do that. I think that would be great, and I would love to be of service in that way, if you understand what I mean, because I think that being of service is what life is about, for one thing. Because believe me, I've tried being of service only to myself, done not so well. Hmm. Whisper, you're talking about the audio crochet patterns? Technically, food service manager. I love that. Lori says a kindergartner gave her the best name, a friendly food teacher. I love that. Whisper says spoken and subtitled, catering to both blind. Oh my goodness. How could we do that? How could we produce that? Because I don't have the video capability to do the subtitles and everything. I really want to give that some thought because I think it would be great. Granny D. Ah! She thanks Pat and says she needs to get in her corner and read. Do you know what? I've been doing these Sunday readings of poetry, and I've looked into doing longer things. I might do like a classic short story at some point, like Young Goodman Brown or Silent Snow, Secret Snow, that sort of thing. Things that I remember from my school days. Um, and then do I might do novels. Who knows? Oh, Marie says that when she worked in special ed, her kids called the food provider their yummy buddy. I think that is so sweet. Oh, AJ, you haven't been saying much, but I'm glad that you're still here. Oh, Lori, you get government money to teach nutrition basically to the class to young kids. How much fun is that? Oh my gosh. Oh, Jean likes my voice. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? No, I should not. No, 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 no. I'm gonna try to stay away from self-deprecating humor, which believe me is difficult for me. But I'm gonna try to stay away from self-deprecating humor because people don't always know how to take it. So, I do have a nice voice. I have a nice singing voice. There was a time when I had a greater capacity for singing when I was younger and doing it all the time than I do now. But that's not a reason to indulge in this kind of self-judgment that I do every day, 24 hours a day. You know what I mean? Oh, Whisperer is saying we can work on it together. I think that's a great idea. Oh my goodness, Whisper, how many languages could we do it? Oh, goodness gracious. Lori says her afternoons are full of reports, paperwork. Yeah. Jane says that we can test some of these things on Jane and others who have vision issues. Oh, oh, Jane suggests that we do it as a project, to just present the instructions without saying what we're actually working on, and then that she and other people with vision issues who are listening would present the final product, whatever they create from what we're talking about. I think that would be fun. Yeah, Whisper is talking about UK terms and US terms. Dutch and German, yeah. Natürlich. Who was it who said that the US and the UK are two countries divided by a common language? Something like that. Laurie, I'm so glad you joined us, and if you have to go back to concentrating on what you call boring data, that's fine. I actually love crunching numbers. I used to think I was more of an analyst than a creative person, but I think I'm both now. I recognize that that I'm both. And I think you are too. Definitely. I mean, for quite a few years, I was a business analyst where I would be the guy who takes documents what a business needs in a new project, and then tells the technology people about it, and then learns what the technology people can actually do, and then tells the business people about it, because and then make sure that everybody understands everything and signs off on everything, because you know how business is. I'm sort of pleased with Nightbot. Actually, it's doing its job. He's doing its job. He's doing his job. I'm going to post Brenda's link again. If I spell it correctly. No, I used to have this argument. There's a difference between a misspelling and a typo. Anyway, so at 3 o'clock, we go over to see Brenda the newbie crocheter, who is wonderful. By the way, she made the subscribe sign for me. You all are subscribed, aren't you? Aren't you? Don't you think you need to subscribe if you haven't? Please do. Anyway. So Nightbot has been doing a good job, and I just posted Brenda's link. We're going to go over there. Her husband, actually, Brenda herself does really a pretty darn good channel. She does great content. She does really good crochet work. Her husband, who, has a successful business of his own that he runs, also does woodwork on the side for the enjoyment of it. And so they make these subscribe signs, they make other kinds of signs. I have seen some custom signs that they have done for other channels, and I'm going to look into it when I win the lottery or something. Oh, thank you, Whisper, for reminding people to hit the thumbs up. Actually, I will add that thumb command, Whisper. That's a good idea. Yes, thumbs up. Laura says, when she gets fun names and polite conversation about toots, the rest of the day, the numbers are just boring. I do understand that. I do. But still, numbers can be fun. I used to do tax returns for a living. Well, the time is almost over in the U.S. for tax returns for this year. But with any luck, next year, I won't even be thinking about doing that sort of thing on a part-time basis to bring in more money. Blind Stitches would love to be a tester. And you're saying that you would like to test this pattern? It's actually already published and it's a free download. But if you want to do it, or are you suggesting that I should make an audio tutorial about it? I think I will. This is not a difficult pattern. And actually, I love it. And I think I will try to make an audio tutorial about it. Wow. Now, I did a video tutorial, and I think that goes live this week. A lot of my recorded videos, I do ahead of time. I upload and I schedule. So I think my hat tutorial for this goes live this Friday. Whisper says that she got an extension because her data was messed up. Oh, hi, Donine. How are you? How many pocket shells have you done so far? What is it, 2,000 or 3,000? Oh my goodness. Jane says, Jane is suggesting, yeah, she wants to hear the pattern. So I think that I will work on that. I will go back to my video tutorial. Jane, I would be grateful if, I do think it is this Friday. Let me just check. It is this Friday that this hat video goes live. I could actually email you the link before it goes live. It's like a private thing where you could, if you have the link, you can access it, but then it gets published publicly. That's slightly a little bit redundant, isn't it? But it gets published on Friday. But if you would just watch and listen to that tutorial and let me know where I could improve it as an audio thing. Do you know? I think that would be great. Danine has made 96 pocket shawls. She makes pocket shawls. You know, we've seen many pictures, many different patterns from different crochet YouTubers and knit, no doubt. She does them for, if I understand correctly, there's a shop near her where they sell these things and they can't keep enough in stock. Is that correct, Donine? Okay. Let's see, what am I doing? Oh, Pat also likes the audio crochet pattern idea. Blind stitches, don't worry about it. I understand. And you know, these dictation programs, they are hardly infallible. None of us thinks that. Oh, Danine also has them on her Etsy shop. It's already 2:54. Otherwise, I would moderatify you, Danine, and allow you to post that link. But You know, we got to get out of here soon and go over to see Brenda. We love Brenda. We love Brenda. Tell her it is a bearded yarn raid because we love Brenda. Still drinking my V8 here. I was talking earlier, for those of you who joined me late, about life lessons. When you have a mug with a red inside and you're pouring V8 into it and the lights in the kitchen are not on, so it's a little dim, you gotta be careful. Because even now, I'm sitting beside a bay window and it's very sunny outside, and it's hard for me to tell where the mug ends and the V8 begins. It's funny. Oh, whisper, that would be lovely. On and on. Let's see. Okay, we're going to close up in a couple of minutes. Does anyone have anything they want to add? We've had a good time today, haven't we? Thank you all for coming. So, I mean, we started out talking about, things that we put off, things that we avoid, whether it's a pattern or a technique, or a kind of object that we do. But then we started talking about all sorts of other things, which we always do, and that's what makes it fun. Okay, Jane says... Jane says that she has an accent, and every time she uses a dictation program, it sounds like she has Tourette's syndrome. Moving right along. Oh, okay. Blind Stitches is going to try to do the hat based on my tutorial. Now, I will say I'm still learning about doing tutorials. I haven't done that many, so I actually would value your feedback. Let's see, Marie. Okay, it's 2:57, so we should go over to see Brenda. Okay. And call it a bearded yarn raid. I'm actually going to make a sandwich and then come back and watch Brenda. There we go, Nightbot. Yeah. Nightbot is my friend. Reminds me of a silly little song I saw called Jesus is My Friend. The notion isn't silly, but the song was silly. That's funny. Anyway, okay, Lori, have a great rest of the day. And I'm going to close up, and thank you all for coming. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. If you want to come back and watch the replay, that would be cool too. Or tell others about the replay. I think we had a really good time. And I'm going to say toodles. Bye-bye now. Keep coming back.